There are 20,000 people here watching me, 3 billion at home. Everything I've ever wanted comes down to this moment. And I was as calm as I am on the couch at home watching TV. Shh. Silence. Silencio, por favor. The arena goes quiet. You can hear a pin drop. Now remember that moment that we keep coming back to, that moment we talked about earlier? This time, I made it my moment. The next 34.642 seconds would unfold in a way that I couldn't have scripted, or even Steven Spielberg or Hollywood could have scripted. I had the best start of my life, and I shot into the lead. But because I was starting on the outside of the grid, I was beat to the first turn by another rider. As we rounded the first corner, I realized who it was. It was the other American. And I am now faced with the most difficult question I could possibly be posed with in this situation. Do I attempt to pass my teammate and run the risk of crashing him, myself, or the absolute worst, both of us? And now I'm the reason why the US went from a gold, silver to nothing? Or do I just sit back and take a silver medal? I mean, a silver medal in the Olympics is pretty good, right? But in that moment, I didn't even blink. Forget whoever it was. I don't care. I did not go through years of hard work, pain, broken bones, dedication, depression. My parents didn't give up everything to give me this opportunity. My coaches, my supporting staff, they didn't do everything just so I could sit back and settle, even for second place at the Olympics. So I attacked. And I was able to advance past my teammate without interfering with him or taking either of us out. As I rounded the final turn, I realized I'm winning the Olympics. And in that moment, I told myself, focus, concentrate it. And I was able to lock back in and make it around the last corner. Now imagine crossing the finish line and becoming Olympic champion. Imagine stepping up onto that podium as they raise the United States flag and play your national anthem. Imagine turning around and seeing your father in the stands, man who drove you to every practice and every race when you were a kid, crying his eyes out. Imagine trying not to cry yourself because you don't want to become the next internet meme. And imagine that feeling of pulling an Olympic gold medal around your neck. When I sat in the starting line, I was prepared. I was more prepared than I was in London. Same goal, but this time I had learned. This time I had overcome. As I rounded the first turn, I thought about settling. Some of us may know what that feels like, to settle for less than you could possibly achieve. Never settle. As I rounded the last corner, I lost focus, however briefly. Some of us may know what that feels like, taking your eye off the ball at the last moment. The deal is not done until it is signed. The race is not over until you are across the finish line. Now of the whole thing, I thought one of the most interesting decisions was what my coach decided to say to me in those final moments. Usually in those final moments, one of the things they would say is maybe a word of support or a tactical, something to focus on. Usually reminding, hey dude, remember last time you were here and you screwed up? That's usually probably not the tactic people would go with. So I asked my coach, why? Why did you choose to say this? And he explained to me that in this moment, he believed that that was the most powerful thing that I could hear. He believed that I would use it to remind myself of everything that I had learned and everything that I had overcome on this journey between A and B, between London and Rio. This is my story, and it's still being written. But throughout my athletic career, I have found G, O, L, and D to be the four most important ingredients to be successful. You have to clearly know what it is that you want, your goal. You have to be prepared to overcome. You have to be open and receptive to learning. And without determination holding everything together, none of it works. Now at my venue in Rio, there was a fence line separating the grandstands and the athlete area. And this is a place where the athletes could interact with fans or friends and family. About 5 minutes after I crossed the finish line, I was told by one of the assistants, "Hey, Connor, your dad is over at the fence line. He wants to see you." So I walked over there. And I just crossed the finish line a couple minutes ago. I'm in shock. I cannot speak. I can't form words. And we can't hug. We can't embrace because of this fence. So we hold hands through the fence like this. And we put our heads together. And he's able to say one thing. He says, "Connor, you wrote it on the wall and you made it come true. What do you have written on your wall?" Thank you.
For Connor! So, how many of you want to see the gold medal? Yes! Yeah! Woo! It's amazing, man. USA. Good job, man. Good job. Oh, here you go. You might need that.
Yeah, thanks.
So I remember getting lunch with Connor, and I remember hearing a story about Usain Bolt. He told me a story about Usain Bolt. You guys know who that is? Fastest guy. And they were talking about what they would eat the night before. And he said, "James, you won't believe it. Usain Bolt ate McDonald's the whole time he was at the Olympics." I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, McDonald's, Big Macs, McMuffins, all of that." It's kind of heavy. It is. And I go, "What?" Here, let's help. Teamwork. And I said, "McDonald's?" He goes, "Yeah, I guess a lot of athletes, because they're nervous about certain foods that they eat, they'll go with what's safe in their eyes." And I guess McDonald's was, I hope I'm telling this story right, Connor, was the most logical choice for them.
It was in Beijing.
Beijing.
So that he didn't want to mess with the local food in case there was something off.
That's right.
So he was like, "I'll take the known enemy instead of the
Smart man. Hedges bets. Connor, thank you so much for all that you do. And yeah. So question is, what happens when your parents sell the house? Do they keep that there, or? It's keepsake. They'll just take the whole wall with it. No.